Unbelievable. There's a feeling at the moment, being amongst the Liverpool supporters. They're very confident. They believe in this manager. They think the team's growing, and they believe they've got a chance of going all the way.
Do you?
So.
Do you?
Yes. I think Barcelona going out tonight as well should give them a bit of confidence. But I think over the two legs, beating a top side like City, they should be on a big wave now.
And no team will like certainly a second leg at Anfield.
I think the three other teams that end up in the draw with Liverpool won't want Liverpool.
Would you
Not
agree?
over two legs anyway.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I agree. I wouldn't want to see Liverpool come at a draw playing against me if I was in one of the other three teams. I think sitting here now, I'd say Real Madrid, if they go through, I think they'll be favourites based on experience and having Cristiano Ronaldo in their team. But again, they wouldn't want to be playing against this Liverpool team. The threats that they have going forward, them three guys up front, at the moment, they can put anyone to bed.
And they were given a test this evening, weren't they? It wasn't, because the worst possible start for Liverpool, the best possible start for Manchester City.
Yeah, and they survived the test. This goes against all the rules of playing at the first 5 minutes when you're 3-0 up. It might sound direct, but get the ball on the other end of the pitch and try and get through those first minutes. So they gave City some sort of a gift. You can see there, Van Dijk doesn't want it.
No,
take your time. Robertson, take your time. We'll all end up getting up the pitch, and he throws it to him, which ends up opening out onto a difficult ball for him really to deal with on his wrong foot here.
Possible foul, but it doesn't look much.
Possible foul, as Stephen said, sometimes away from home you don't get them. All of a sudden the ball's in the back of your net and it was game on. But to be fair to Liverpool, even with the dominance in terms of possession of City in the first half, other than the couple of occasions, the offside goal and probably Silva hitting the post, they defended their box brilliantly. And now they've found a new grit about them in the second half of this season from Van Dijk coming to the club, where they can just sit back and defend against anyone.
Let's have a look at the disallowed goal. Referee's got it wrong. His assistant got it wrong. It's come off. Clearly comes off a Liverpool defender there.
It should have stood, and it should have been 2-0 to City. And then you wonder what could have been in terms of from a City point of view. But speaking to the lads off camera about winning the Champions League and big moments and big turning points that need to go in your favour to become a champion, and Liverpool could look back if they go on to be successful to a moment like that goes in your favour.
Yeah, bit of luck. You always need that, don't you? Pep Guardiola didn't like the decision. He was complaining to the referee, and that gave him his marching orders up to the stand as well. This is it. You can understand his frustration.
I can completely understand that, his frustrations. He's seen it. He knows it should have been a goal, and the whole context of the team talk at half-time would have changed. But
it's a referee he's got history of as well. He was complaining at the weekend about this referee. He was the referee against Monaco last year. He's given penalties against City in the past.
There's swings and roundabouts in this game, and you've got to take the rough with the smooth. And yep, he goes to the stands, but whether that's had an effect on the team in the second half, I don't know. I think this Manchester City team, this game, they huffed and puffed without really ever testing the goalkeeper today. How many real saves did you see the keeper have to make today? Not many.
No, they hit the post through Bernardo Silva.
Yeah.
Terrific effort.
Yeah, again, Liverpool defending the box. You can see the numbers that they stuck back there for the whole half, but sometimes a bit of brilliance can turn his games. And they've shown too much there. Robertson has been brilliant in both legs, but he showed Bernardo Silva there.
Gets a little scratch off Lovren, doesn't he? A little vital scratch that just takes it onto the
Again, there are moments, it's like the decision and it's like the little scratch off Lovren, and certain elements of the game you make your own luck, and Liverpool's attitude, how they've approached both games, dictates that they maybe deserve that little bit of luck.
There was quite a cheer in here when Mo Salah scored. Came from one person. I think it might have been the guy in the middle there.
Yeah, I mean, and that was the moment that I thought would come, and when it does, you're hoping that it does fall to someone like Salah. I mean, Mane does great. It could have been a penalty. City got away with it, but the dink
I love that.
On his weak foot at such a vital moment, top draw.
I think what's evident about him in this season especially, I saw him at Chelsea when he came, and I saw him at Roma when he was there. Yeah. He was about skills, he was about dribbling, about taking people on. Right now, he looks like a guy who just, all he wants to do is finish games. Gets an opportunity, goes in, and the composure that he shows is ice cold.
His goal-scoring numbers this season, they're extraordinary by their own levels, but they're massively different to his goal-scoring feats in other seasons.
Yeah,
it's not come from nowhere, you could say it, but he's really improved.
He's changed the way he plays. Player. He doesn't play the same way as before, and I think sometimes, like we were talking about before, is that some players, the penny drops. What do you want to be? Do you want to be an entertainer, or do you want to be someone who decides games? And he's made that decision, and he's been clinical.
He's extraordinary, isn't he?
Well, he's released himself.
You knew him at Chelsea way back when. Did you see this?
But no, and he didn't get that many chances to show that. No. But he's released himself from the wing. So at Chelsea, he was seen as a winger and didn't have much impact. To be fair to him, there were a lot of players ahead of him at the time, Eden Hazard, etc., who were older than him. But by releasing himself and the brilliance is the intelligence. Even there, we watch Lionel Messi, and sometimes he's great at just standing in areas. And he started to do that, just stand in areas, and all of a sudden the ball comes to him and he goes.
Bobby Firmino got the winner in this game, 5-1 aggregate, obviously, but 2-1 here.
Yeah, it's a direct ball. Bit of a duel. City, end up clearing the lines, but that's the mistake that Liverpool have been waiting for all night. Firmino gets in and it's a terrific finish, but for me Salah was the important goal and the crucial one. But this is how you can't defend against Liverpool. This is what they're waiting for. They're waiting for turnovers and people to take risks and make mistakes, and they are the best, for me, best team about to punish mistakes.
Firmino was incredible in that second half. Everything that comes to him sticks. He's so aware of people around him. He's strong. He holds the ball up. He gave people time to get up and join him, and he got a well-deserved goal. Yeah,
terrific all-round centre forward, isn't he? 3 successive defeats as well for Pep Guardiola. Time for another break. Plenty more to come. We'll hopefully hear from Pep and, of course, from Jurgen Klopp when we come back. Don't go away. Been a long wait, but it was Liverpool's night. 10 years since they were last in the semi-finals of the Champions League, and much to celebrate and much to look forward to, Stephen.
Yeah, I think it's exciting times. I think the big picture for Liverpool is really good. I'm sure in the off-season they're going to make big signings again to strengthen again, and you wonder whether they can challenge and go closer in the league as well. But short term, I think they'll have every confidence they can progress to the final, depending on the draw on Friday.
Who impressed you most tonight?
All of them. I think defensively they all defended for the life,
the
body
young
on the line
as well, particularly Trent.
Yeah, I think if you take Trent, if you look at his age and the magnitude of the game over the both legs, who he was up against, I think he has to be the star man over 2 legs.
Yeah. Impressed by him?
Undoubtedly. I think first leg we were like, he was after coming off the back of 2 poor games where he'd had 2 big mistakes that cost goals for Liverpool, to come into this under that pressure and produce a performance like that, and really 1v1 especially, he was going out there brave on the front foot, defending against a super talent in Sane, and he looked so comfortable. Not only defensively was he fantastic, but when he had the ball, his distribution into front areas, into finding a teammate, was superb for a young boy.
He played with a maturity and an assuredness beyond his years. I mean, he's 19, isn't he? Yeah. Just still a teenager. Is it too soon for him to sneak into the World Cup squad?
No, it's not. No, he's
good enough.
He's run brilliantly, actually. Yeah. I think he has competition there, but as Rio said, it's his calmness on the ball, which is that extra thing. We're trying to now move forward where we want to play out from the back, and the boy's so comfortable on the ball, and now he's got massive game potentially ahead of him to show it again and again. And if he does it at this level, then why not? You can't question him.
Today, if you're judging it, you're not going to judge it like this, but today was the England right back was playing today, Kyle Walker. If you didn't know nothing about football, you just came and watched this game, not knowing who they were. Who looks the better right back on them 2 performances? Trent.
It was a brave call from Klopp as well, wasn't it, to play him perhaps in the first leg. There's a lot of talk about. There was a lot of worry. I remember you being concerned.
I think with Gomez being out, and obviously Klein not playing much, I think it had to be Trent. But to be fair to the kid, he stood up so well over the 2 games. Gareth will be well aware of him anyway. I know he trained recently with the England squad.
He got booked early on, by the way. Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. I was about to say, I think the manager's confidence in him on a yellow card to keep him on in a game like that, speaks volumes of their relationship.
Pep Guardiola, does he deserve criticism for these 2 legs, or is he above that? Or
no, nobody's above that, and there will be criticism because that's the nature of football when you lose these big important games. You can obviously question, I think, team selection in the first game. Yeah. We've sort of spoken about that a lot, and they lost the game. But I think in this game tonight, we kept talking about the gamble before the game, and it didn't pay off because if you play with 3 at the back and no wing-backs, out-and-out wingers... But
in the first half, it looked like it was working. They had chances, disallowed goals.
But the thing is, they played in the other team's half, so you're fine. You're all in the halves. You've got a long way to go for them to score, and you're attacking, you're using the wingers so much. You have a lot of possession, but it's fine. But we spoke about the game before. You always fancy Liverpool to get some ball and get some of it. And when they start to attack you and you have 3 centre-backs spread out over the whole pitch against Mo Salah, Mane and Firmino... You're waiting to be counter-attacked.
Yeah, we looked at that selection at the start and we picked it up and we were thinking, I wonder what Klopp thinks about this selection.
Well, I think
we'll get a chance to ask him very shortly.
The interview post-game, I think you could see the surprise in his reaction, and I think he was licking his lips from it. And I'm sure the players were Because in a game like this, 3-0 up, you only need one more moment. And I think Pep showed over the 2 legs he's human. He's obviously a world-class manager, and
clearly
we're not in a position to criticise him, really. But from a learning point of view from him, he's made 2 mistakes for me. The Gundogan decision and also going too bold tonight.
OK, we can hear from Jurgen Klopp.
Oh, good. See you. Bye.
Well, we'll take a little break. I think when we come back, we'll see what happened in the other quarter-final played this evening, and hear from Pep Guardiola as well. Let's hear from the Manchester City manager, Pep Guardiola. He's with Des. I'm not too sure he's very keen on the referee, Signor Laoth. But I tell you what, let's have a look at the goal again, the Sane goal, because this for me is what VAR should be used for. I know they've not got it in the Champions League, they're not going to have it in the Champions League next season, but this is a clear, obvious, blatant referee's, linesman's, assistant referee, call him what you like, mistake.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say than that.
Yeah.
It's clear, as you say. Sometimes referees, for whatever reason, might need another angle. That's what VAR's been brought in for. Yeah. Whether there could be a question mark at first, who's the contact from? Is it from Milner or Jesus? Very clear in the end, though.
That's what I mean. It's 100% clear. Whereas it's got a lot of criticism, VAR, for using it for decisions where it's somebody's opinion. But that was factual,
I think
wasn't
the
it?
standard of Champions League refs, there's 5 of them there. They should be able to see that.
That's not even. But they haven't, Stephen.
I know, but
they didn't see us over the line against Germany.
That's a worry for me. If 5 people can't see that, because we can see it from here.
I agree, but I agree with Pep in terms of that big decisions have cost him in this last week.
Yeah.
Before the week started, there was an unbeatable team. Look at the best team ever in history in the Premier League.
3 on the bounce now.
3 on the bounce now. What a week! How he can change your fortunes, and he will look at decisions, and he'll have that siege mentality for his team and say, "You give me your all. We were set up right, but decisions cost us." But at the same time, I think the Gundogan decision at Anfield cost him massively. To go there and play and change the way he did, to change the formation with a team. The shape of his team in such a huge game, they come on start 3-0.
They contributed, but Liverpool were a better team over 2 games.
Well, 5-1 it's a big difference.
Clearly. And of course, it depended on the moment of the game. If they get that away goal at Anfield, it's all changes. But if you really go through the 2 teams over both the games, I think Liverpool fully deserved it on play.
It's not really happened for Manchester City so far in the Champions League. Semi-finals the best, I think, in their 7 seasons in this competition.
Yeah, and I think the longer it goes, the more pressure comes with it.
It's a bit like PSG, isn't it? It's an emerging club, new money, lots of investment, but it takes time, I suppose, to develop and become ultra-competitive at this level. Yeah,
it does, and, I'm sure eventually it will come, especially with a manager like Pep and the players they've got here. But it's a difficult tournament to win. Yeah. Frank and Rio back me up here, the quality of the team, especially when you go into the later stages. Sometimes you've got to adapt your game. You can, playing the same way all the time, someone will find you out, and Liverpool have got their number.
Yeah, Liverpool found a way now. They seem to have found a way that suits them, that they love and enjoy playing and are successful doing. We were the same when we played in my team. We played differently in Champions League games than we did in the Premier League. Yeah. We played a bit more conservative at times, knowing we had the players to go on attack and finish teams off when we won the ball back. And Liverpool seemed very similar in that respect.
Well, there's 3 of us here. One that you might as well have a say as well.
Well, thank goodness we did get our one. I'm so pleased because, as Stephen said, it's so hard year in, year out to get it. And it's potentially getting harder with the level.